Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. Yeah, the Horde's getting more snow. Spent a bunch of time today cleaning up the driveway. It went up to about 35, 36 degrees, so I was kind of able to scrape the driveway back down to pavement, able to make a path to the back. And you guys, I think you guys could see the snow, right? I don't know, maybe up against the building there, a little closer. Yeah. So, what is this supposed to be? This is supposed to be somewhere between 5 and 12 inches worth of snow. The weather folks, since somebody gave them a bunch of grief about the variability of snowfall for that one big storm that New York City didn't quite get the full dose the weather people said it was going to get. Now they give you weather reports of it may or it may not snow, and should it snow, it may snow somewhere between a dusting and 22 feet. Very helpful weather reports. Anyway, yeah, this is supposed to be somewhere between 5 and 12 inches. Very helpful. We all know what I'm going to be up to tomorrow. I'm glad I bought that snowblower last year. It's done a lot of work. Anyhow, let me show you. Even though I'm obviously enjoying not my winter wonderland here, I keep trying to move things forward on my various projects. And let me show you what I'm up to. While I was outside digging about in the snow, I uncovered a 200S frame, and for a couple of reasons. First of all, I have a lot of those floating around, so I like using them for my test bed, so to speak. And I was also asked a question by a YouTuber if the TRX200SX motor would fit in a 200S frame. So that's what I got going on here, and it really don't fit so good. You can see I brought it in out of the snow. Been shoveling snow, so now everything hurts. You could see, like, where the chain kind of, I'm pinned up against that. I could cut that off, but then I'm also pinned down here, right? That one motor mount down there don't look too bad. I don't know, could you guys see it? Yeah. Magnetic flashlight, right? That motor mount don't look too bad. But you can see this one is kind of nowhere close, right? And about the front is just plates, but you could see my problem. That I'm up against the frame right there, and one would have to kind of cut the frame and bend it out, or notch the frame and then replate it. I guess basically my comment is this is not a easy peasy work. This motor mount here looks like it'd be pretty close. So, the guy from YouTube who would like to just throw a TRX200SX motor in his 200S just for something to play with, offhand, you know, any swap could be done. But it's not a piece of cake swap. It's not like putting the 200S motor into an old 200X, right, which is a fairly easy swap. This This one's going to be a bear. You're going to have to work for this. To make it work, you're going to have to work real hard. I mean, we're talking cutting, welding, then reinforcing. It's going to be work. And yeah, the chain just, well, maybe. I'm just trying to, I can't really show you the three-dimensional that well. I guess one could kind of get the chain where you want to get it. So that's first of all. For my YouTube friend, it's not an easy swap. It could be done, but it's not going to be a cakewalk. For me, I'm looking at it because I have to cradle this engine in something. I have to attach it somehow to the golf cart if I want to use this engine. And I still haven't gone through the what direction is that turning compared to what direction I need it to turn to drive the golf cart forward. I have to spend a few minutes with that. The greatest thing in the world, quite honestly, is if that engine could be facing backwards, basically turn it around 180. Right, and picture the front of the golf cart that way, pointing in the direction of my thumb. Right, that'd give me plenty of room to drive the chain easily. I'm not thinking it's going to go that way. I think the cylinder's going to be facing forward, and that being the case, I'm going to once again have to work for it. I'm also looking once again at this frame to see if I can cut it up and turn it easily into a way of making everything mount up and go properly and so forth like that. And quite honestly, I'm not seeing it. A couple of other things. I bought an exhaust system for that engine. So obviously that's the exhaust manifold, and it came with this exhaust pipe. I guess compared to my thumb, you can see how big it is. That's who made it. Sanken. I don't know if it's aftermarket or not. I'd have a tendency to think it is, though I don't know that. I picture the exhaust system being bigger and not being made out of aluminum as an OEM. I think the header pipe is the right pipe, but I'm not thinking that exhaust system is. So I got the engine. I have a carb, though the carb spring is a little bit, well, it doesn't have a spring to keep the choke on. So that'll need some love and attention. I have the intake manifold, obviously the electric starter, the pull starter, the ignition system. I showed you that I put this together for it. Right, the gas tank, no big deal. Right, I always have some kind of gas tank to smash onto these things. So I'm getting closer and closer to having a complete running unit. Just think of the look of disappointment on my face, though, when I figure out that though it runs and it's all ready to go, there's no way I can make it fit on there. Right, I can't make the chain drive the rear end. Well, I guess at that point I'll just have to pull the rear end with the differential out and put in a solid axle on pillow bearings and go forward that way. So there's that. I also have on order, and the reason why I ordered it, they were like $15 delivered to the house. I ordered the set of TRX200SX motor mounts. the one that goes here on the intake, by the intake, right? So the one that goes here, which kind of bolts onto the plate, and then there's a little pin that goes through that would hook to this guy. Right, am I showing it to you? There you go. So I ordered a set of them to add to the hoard, and once again, I thought they might be helpful. So they're coming, and I think that's the last thing I have on order. So my wife will be happy that I'm not beating the hell out of my PayPal anymore. Anyhow, just showing you once again a little progress here, a little progress there. I could have carried the engine out to the garage and tried to stick it in the frame, but man, it's cold out there, and I seem to be liking it in here more and more near the wood stove. Probably some of you guys are also suffering from that. I have these two big windows here, one here and one over there. When I first bought this place, before it completely filled up like a hoard, they go down quite a ways. Well, let me show you the other one so you can see how low it goes. Right, it goes down quite a ways. Maybe it's like 4 foot off the floor. Yeah, let's call it 4 foot off the floor. And you could see the window itself is pretty tall and pretty big. When a buddy of mine saw those, he goes, you are gonna change that from a window into a door, and that way you could run your stuff in and out, because that hole will be big enough to really, run a quad or whatever on a ramp, like right in and out the door. I said, no, I don't need to do that. I got a garage and I'm all good. But when you're fighting cold winters like this, you begin thinking more and more about what one wants to do, eh? So anyhow, yeah, the basement is a bit tight. I have to pay attention when I'm using like the wood stove. The wood stove is surrounded on both sides by wood stoves. Obviously there's a block wall there, the sheetrock there, and everything's metal all around it. I figure when the wood stove runs, it's heating up those two bulky wood stoves, which obviously are fireproof, given that they're wood stoves, but they're also absorbing a lot of heat. Between the three of them, there's probably over 1,000 pounds worth of heat. Plus, that's one of those water pressurized heater things, hydraulic heater with a fan. So obviously that's absorbing heat. Those are a little further away, but believe it or not, even these engine blocks, they don't get hot, but they get warm to the touch. Junk like this, truly not recommended. That's why, once again, I basically stay down here when this thing is going. Alright folks, thank you for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up. Oh, one other quick thing. There's a guy who asked me a question about a TRX250, and I saw your question, but then it disappeared before I could answer it. I'm not quite sure why it wasn't in the community. And then I saw your question saying, yo, why didn't you answer my question on the TRX250? And that question once again disappeared when I went to answer it, saying, yo, it disappeared. So I don't know. Ask the question again, and what I'll do is I'm going to have to answer it on camera. I can't, obviously, our friends from Google, from YouTube, are making it hard to answer that way. So I apologize. It's not that I'm ignoring you or being a wanker or anything. It's just a matter of, by the time I go to answer your question, for some reason, it disappears. It's not showing up under community. I can read it when it first shows up on the right hand side there, so I could read your questions and I could see them. But a lot of times your questions are put in with a few others, so it don't let you directly comment on them. So so to respond, I have to do it under the community section, and once again, they keep disappearing there. This is getting to be a long video, so I got my my ADD brother out there who, you know, brothers from a different mother who must be probably got up and already had himself a bag of potato chips waiting for me to finish this video. Anyway, guys, once again, thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and remember to enjoy all your days. Cold out there, but it feels good sitting in front of here. So to enjoy your days, figure out what feels good and do it a lot. Take care, folks. Bye.